Today's topic is languages used in database management system. This is a very important topic because the purpose of DBMS is to maintain data. Now, why we are maintaining data? Obviously, the database which we are maintaining, that is of some use. That is useful information is being stored there. Fine. So now, whatever the database we have stored there, that is composed of so many commands like create. With the help of create command we can create the table. If you have created the table, you have to insert some values, you can update it, you can delete the table or particular record from the existing table. Means, so to perform so many operations, obviously we need some commands or instructions. So these all instructions are divided into different types of languages. So, in database management system, to perform all these operations means to create a table, to insert records into the table, to update or alter it or modify the table, or you can say to delete the table. We have different languages which we are using in SQL. So, there are categories four types of languages which we are using in this database management system. Now, what are these categories? So, these are, you can see here, four types are DDL, DML, DCL, and TCL. Fine. So, DDL stands for data definition language, DML stands for data manipulation language, DCL stands for data control language, and TCL stands for transaction control language. Fine. Now, one by one, we will read here about all these languages and what are the proper commands which is assigned for this particular language. Like, I'm just giving you an example. Like, these all are the commands create, alter, drop, and rename, which comes under this DDL command. Fine. In the same way, for DML, there are some commands which are assigned for DML. For DCL also, there are some commands, and for TCL also, some commands are assigned. Fine, which we can use in database management system. So now first let us see that what is DDL. DDL stands for data definition language. Fine. This is only the full form of DDL. Now let us see that what is the use of this DDL. So here I have explained you the definition or the concept of DDL, and after that examples of DDL commands are mentioned there and what we can do with the help of all these examples that is explained here. Means a student who is beginner for this topic, they can also acquire knowledge from this lecture. So I have prepared this video, I have prepared this lecture in such a way that anybody can understand without any doubts or without any confusion. So first let us start with DDL. DDL commands are used to create a new table. The first thing in database is to create a new table so that we can insert some values into that table. So first thing is to create a new table that we can do with the help of DDL. Now change the structure of a table or remove an existing table in a database. Whatever the database is existing there, if it is of no longer use, you can delete it. Now, the above mentioned operation can also be applied to individual rows and columns of a table. Means updation of a data or deletion of a data can be done in row wise also or column wise also, or you can delete complete table also. Fine. So it is performed as per the user's choice or as per the user's requirement. I hope till here everything is clear. Now we'll move about DDL, that is using a DDL statements. We can create a table, delete a record from a table, update or modify an existing record by changing some of its attributes values or columns, etc. You can change it, you can change the layout of the table, you can delete the records, you can update it, you can create a table. Everything you can do with the help of this DDL commands. Now, constraints can be imposed on specific attributes whenever necessary. So, we have already learned about constraints, that what is the need of constraint, what is constraints, and what are the keywords or terms which we can use in the constraints. So, in my previous video about constraints, I have already explained you. I will mention that particular link with this description. So, constraint is a very important term if you want to maintain the consistency and accuracy of that particular record or that particular database. Now, this is all about DDL. Now, what are the commands that DDL contains? Suppose your question is to write all the types of languages used in DDL and write the examples of DDL commands. Then first you have to mention that there are 4 types of languages: DDL, DML, DCL and TCL. And examples of DDL commands are create, alter, drop and rename. Fine. So these all commands are used in DDL. So now one by one I will explain it that what we can do with the help of all these commands. So as its name suggests, create. Create means you have to create a new table. Fine. So create table commands comes under DDL. Now next is alter. Alter means to change, to modify the structure of a table. So for that purpose we use alter command. Now delete. Delete, as its name specifies, delete a table from a database. The drop table command is used. If you want to delete a complete database, you can use the keyword that is drop table name. Then that particular table name which you have mentioned there, that will be deleted. Now next is rename. Rename means, as we all know, that it is used to change the name of an existing table or a database object. So that for that purpose we use rename keyword. Fine. So this is all about DDL, that is data definition language. Now come to the data manipulation language. What is it? About DML, I want to say that after creating a table, once you have created the table with the help of that DDL command, fine. Now the next step is to insert records into them. In that particular table, we have to insert some records, then only we can do anything. If records are not there, then that particular table is just meaningless. So the next step is to insert some records into that particular database and manipulate data according to the requirement of the application concerned. What is the meaning of manipulation? Manipulation means, manipulate data means whatever the requirement, according to the requirement, you can fetch the data from the database. You can retrieve the data from the database if data is records are inserted into that particular table. आपके पास जो पहले आपने DDL कमांड के थ्रू टेबल क्रिएट किया था, the next step is to insert some values into that particular database. तभी आप उस database को use कर सकते हो to retrieve the data. आप रिपोर्ट्स बनाने के लिए या फिर क्वेरी को एग्जीक्यूट करने के लिए उस पर्टिकुलर डेटाबेस को यूज कर सकते हो. So manipulate is means to use data according to the requirement of the application concerned. Now these can be done by using data manipulation language, that is DML. Fine. So this is all about the purpose of DML. Now besides insertion, deletion and updation, there are data retrieval operations. So these retrieval operations are generally performed by SQL select statement. So what we can do with the help of select statement? We can retrieve the data, we can fetch the data. हम लोग डेटा बेस से डेटा को एक्सेस कर सकते हैं रिपोर्ट्स बनाने के लिए, आउटपुट जनरेट करने के लिए. सो दिस इज द यूज ऑफ सेलेक्ट स्टेटमेंट. फाइन. Now, what are the examples of DML commands? So, examples of DML commands are select, insert, update, and delete. Select means what? Select command is used to retrieve. Select command is used to retrieve and display the contents of a table completely or part of a table according to the condition mentioned in the query. Whatever the query, जो भी आप क्वेरी एग्जीक्यूट करने जा रहे हो उसमें अगर आप सेलेक्ट कमांड के थ्रू क्वेरी एग्जीक्यूट कर रहे हो तो वो या तो आपका कंप्लीट 100% टेबल को डिस्प्ले कर देगा यूजिंग द कमांड लाइक सेलेक्ट स्टार फ्रॉम टेबल नेम, then it will display you all the rows and columns, the complete table. Fine. Or if you impose some condition with select statement, देन अकॉर्डिंग टू द कंडीशन, जो भी आपने वहां पे कंडीशन लगा दिया है वो उस पर्टिकुलर कंडीशन के अकॉर्डिंग, अगर आपका डेटा वहां पे अवेलेबल है डेटाबेस में तो उस पर्टिकुलर कंडीशन के अकॉर्डिंग डेटा को डिस्प्ले करेगा. सो दिस इज रिटन हियर. नाउ द सेकंड इज इंसर्ट. इंसर्ट कमांड जैसे हम लोग सब जानते हैं कि इंसर्ट कमांड इज यूज टू इंसर्ट अ न्यू रिकॉर्ड इन अ टेबल. सो रिकॉर्ड इंसर्ट करने के लिए हम लोग इंसर्ट कमांड यूज करते हैं. Delete command is used to delete records from a database table. Fine. So to delete the records, we can use delete commands, and update command is used to modify or update specific data of a table. So these DML commands are of very use. Select, insert, update, and delete. Now the third is DCL, that is data control language. Now what is the meaning of this data control language? जैसे हम लोग जानते हैं कि डेटाबेस को मैनेज करने के लिए कोई पर्टिकुलर ऑथराइज्ड ऑथेंटिकेटेड रिस्पॉन्सिबल पर्सन असाइंड होते हैं, ठीक है, जिसके पास पावर होता है कि वो डेटाबेस को एज पर द रिक्वायरमेंट सेफली क्रिएट, इंसर्ट, अपडेट और डिलीट कर सके. ये सारे ऑपरेशंस क्रिएट, इंसर्ट, अपडेट, डिलीट वो कोई भी अगर आकर कर दे हु इज नॉट ऑथराइज्ड पर्सन, देन डेटाबेस का कंसिस्टेंसी जो है वो मेंटेन नहीं हो पाएगा. डेटाबेस विल नॉट बी सिक्योर if anybody will maintain the database. So to maintain the consistency, to maintain the accuracy of that particular database, authorized person is having right, is having permission to use the database as per the requirement. So this is all about control. Control means यही होता है. Now देखते हैं कि यहाँ पे क्या लिखा हुआ है. It contains, it means DCL, that is data control language, contains commands which are required to deal with the user permissions and controls of the database system. Means कौन से यूजर को आपको किस तरह का परमिशन ग्रांट करना है, किस तरह का परमिशन उसको देना है to work on that particular database, that is done using DCL, that is data control language. Fine. Its reason is to maintain the consistency, to maintain the accuracy, and the major concern is to maintain the security. Because अगर आपका डेटा सिक्योर नहीं है, अगर आपका डेटाबेस इज नॉट सिक्योर, कोई भी आकर उसमें कुछ भी अपडेट कर देता है, कोई भी डिलीट कर देता है, तो वो आपका डेटाबेस मीनिंगलेस हो जाएगा. सो दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू कंट्रोल द commands, to control over the rights to the particular user. Now we will see DCL is generally used by the database administrator to other authorized user for different control operations and security purpose. Security is a very major concern while maintaining the database. If your data is not secure, it will become a meaningless data. Now, DCL mainly deals with rights, permissions and other controls of the database system. Means किसको, किस यूजर को किस तरह का परमिशन ग्रांट करना है so that data will not get lost. ठीक है, तो ये सारी चीजें आपके डेटा कंट्रोल लैंग्वेज के थ्रू परफॉर्म की जा सकती हैं. Now what are the examples of this DCL commands? Examples of this DCL commands are grant and revoke. This grant and revoke are completely opposite to each other. इसके थ्रू हम लोग कर क्या सकते हैं? ग्रांट मीन्स किसी पर्टिकुलर यूजर को कुछ स्पेसिफिक परमिशन अलाउ करना, ठीक है, सो दैट वो उस डेटाबेस में कुछ अपडेट्स कर सके. जैसे यहाँ क्या लिखा हुआ है, ग्रांट कमांड इज यूज टू अलाउ अ यूजर विथ एनी स्पेसिफिक परमिशन. इट मीन्स वी कैन परमिट अ पर्टिकुलर यूजर to edit the database. That is grant. You are granting him to do any type of action. Now what is the meaning of revoke? Revoke means जो permissions, जो rights आपने उस बंदे को दिया था वो उससे आप वापस ले रहे हो. So that is the meaning of revoke. What it is written here? Revoke command withdraws already given permission using grant. Means grant word के थ्रू, grant command के थ्रू आपने जो भी उस पर्टिकुलर बंदे को या यूजर को परमिशन दिया था वो आप उससे वापस ले सकते हो परमिशन. Now he is not allowed to make any type of changes in that particular database. So grant and revoke are just opposite to each other. Now, this is the last topic, that is TCL. It means Transaction Control Language. TCL के पहले समझना होगा कि what is transaction. Transaction means a unit of work. In a simple words, transaction stands for a unit of work that can be performed on the database system. अब unit of work means क्या होता है? जैसे आप कोई भी काम कर रहे हो डेटाबेस में, जैसे आप सेलेक्ट, इंसर्ट, अपडेट, डिलीट, ऑल्टर, ड्रॉप, कोई भी कमांड्स यूज कर रहे हो, तो उसका उस पर्टिकुलर डेटाबेस से रिलेटेड कुछ चेंजेस शो होना चाहिए. अगर वो चेंजेस प्रॉपरली शो हो रहा है एज पर योर गिवन कमांड, देन इट इज नोन एज ट्रांजैक्शन हैज बीन सक्सेसफुल. एक सिंपल वर्ड्स पे मैं एग्जांपल देना चाहूंगी. जैसे आप एटीएम जाते हो मनी विड्रॉ करने के लिए, तो एटीएम से मनी विड्रॉ करने का फ्रॉम बेसिक टू द लास्ट स्टेप, फ्रॉम फर्स्ट टू लास्ट स्टेप, जो भी आपका स्टेप्स है वो आपने परफॉर्म कर लिया. आपने कार्ड इंसर्ट किया, पिन इंसर्ट किया, आपने अमाउंट इंसर्ट किया, आपने अपने अकाउंट टाइप जो भी है, करंट या सेविंग्स, वो सब आपने चूज कर लिया, सारा कुछ कर लिया. बट लास्ट में मैसेज तो आ गया आपके नंबर पे, रजिस्टर्ड मोबाइल नंबर पे, कि आपका मनी डिडक्ट हो चुका है, लेकिन आपके हाथ में मशीन से पैसे नहीं आए. तो वैसे सिचुएशन में हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं कि हमारा ट्रांजैक्शन सक्सेसफुल नहीं हुआ. ठीक है, मीन्स आप जिस पर्पस से गए थे एटीएम, पैसा आपको विड्रॉ करना था, तो वो पैसा तो आपका विड्रॉ नहीं हुआ, लेकिन आपके अकाउंट से पैसे डिडक्ट हो गए, उसका मैसेज आ गया. तो ऐसे केस में आपका ये ऑपरेशन जो था वो सक्सेसफुल नहीं हुआ. इट मीन्स योर ट्रांजैक्शन इज नॉट कंप्लीटेड ड्यू टू एनी रीजन. सो इन टर्म्स ऑफ डेटाबेस, जो भी आप ऑपरेशन कर रहे हो, जैसे सेलेक्ट का या इंसर्ट का या अपडेट का, डिलीट का, ऑल्टर का या ड्रॉप का, तो जिस पर्पस से आप वो ऑपरेशन कर रहे हो, वो पर्पस अगर आपका फुलफिल नहीं हो रहा है, देन योर ट्रांजैक्शन इज नॉट सक्सेसफुल. और अगर आपके रिक्वायरमेंट के अकॉर्डिंग वो ट्रांजैक्शन सक्सेसफुल हो गया, जो भी आपने क्वेरी दिया था, सेलेक्ट, इंसर्ट, अपडेट, डिलीट से रिलेटेड कुछ भी, तो उससे रिलेटेड आपका चेंजेस डेटाबेस में डिस्प्ले कर रहा है, then it is known as transaction is successful. So what it is written here, a transaction is a unit of work that is performed against a database in SQL. It contains commands required to deal with the database transaction. मीन्स किसी भी डेटाबेस में किसी पर्टिकुलर एक्शन को परफॉर्म करने के लिए आपको डिफरेंट डिफरेंट कमांड्स की रिक्वायरमेंट होगी. नाउ the same thing is written here in other words. Like in other words, you can say, suppose we are creating a new record or updating or deleting any type of records from a table, in general performing any changes in the table. In that case, we are performing a transaction on the table. So this is all about the meaning of transaction in terms of database. आप database में कुछ भी कर रहे हो, create, insert, update, delete, drop, कुछ भी कर रहे हो, तो अगर वो database में successfully display कर रहा है, then it is known as transaction has been completed. Now, what are the commands that we can use inside this TCL? So commands used in TCL, that is transaction control languages, are commit, rollback and save point. Now, what is the meaning of commit? What is the meaning of rollback and what is the meaning of save point? We'll see. Commit means जो भी आप ट्रांजैक्शन कर रहे हो उसको परमानेंटली डेटाबेस में सेव करने के लिए we use the command that is commit. Commit command is used to save transactions permanently. Fine. जो भी आप ट्रांजैक्शन कर रहे हो उसको परमानेंटली सेव करने के लिए we are using the command that is commit. Now, the second is rollback. Rollback means this command is used to recall transaction after the last commit. जहां तक आपका कमांड्स प्रीवियस स्टेज में सेव हुआ था, जहां तक आपने कमिट कमांड के थ्रू ट्रांजैक्शन को सेव किया था, वहां पर से आपका ट्रांजैक्शन को रिकॉल करने के लिए वी यूज द कमांड रोलबैक. द लास्ट वन इज सेव पॉइंट. सेव पॉइंट क्या करता है? ये ट्रांजैक्शन को टेम्पररीली सेव करता है. ठीक है. सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट commit, rollback and save point. And today what we have discussed, what are the languages used in DBMS. There are 4 types of languages, their definitions and the commands and the use of that particular command in that particular database was explained here. So I hope those who are beginners for this topic, they can understand the topic properly. That's why I have prepared this video lecture in such a way that anybody can understand it. I hope you all have understood the topic. So thank you for listening me.